had the Islamic games May 22nd to the 24th of everybody coming together for a particular purpose, you know, and it's a really positive thing. I'm fortunate to be a part of it, so I look forward to the Islamic games, and look forward to meeting people, and I look forward to, you know, to being part of it. I've read my father's autobiography several times, and you know, I didn't know like the whole bunch of stuff about his childhood and his college career. Reading some of his career stats in college, I was like, wow, you know, he was playing against, you know, the top of the league, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Wilt Chamberlain when he got into the league. Like, these players, you know, 1 and 2 centers of all time, and like, you know, and he was holding his own. Made me understand him more as well. And I think it's a great book, and like I said, it's made for pretty much everybody. Something that people can relate to as a whole, and I think it's something that's well needed at this particular time. My mom's originally from Trinidad and Tobago, and her and my dad got married, I believe, in 1974. We had a couple of family reunions in Barbados. Our team was very good, though. We always made it to state playoffs. My junior year, we finished 3rd in the state. My sophomore year, we finished 4th, and my senior year, we finished 4th as well. So we always made it to the state tournament. So I always used to run up against my counterpart in high school, and that was Luke Rittenauer. He played at Blaine High School in Northern Washington. After playing 3 seasons at the University of Oregon, he is now a professional player in the NBA. He plays for the Milwaukee Bucks after getting traded over there from the Seattle Supersonics. And I still keep in contact with lots of guys in my high school team. Well, not as much as I should, but definitely some of them. It's always good to hear from those guys because we were a real close unit, and we grew up together. You know, we learned a lot from each other, and we helped each other. I recruited out of high school. I had just a couple of offers. One was Eastern Washington, one was Central Washington, one was Nevada Reno. So my eye was on Nevada Reno, but they went through a coaching change in the summer, and through that coaching change, the recruiting process was negated. So a long story short, basically I had to sit out the first collegiate year and try to wait for a 4-year school to pick me up. So I attended Highline Community College, and I enrolled in Highline Community College with the intention just to sit there and go to school and keep my eligibility, 1 year of eligibility. I felt that with me on the team we could be more successful, and that's what we were. We were very successful. I was successful as well. I was the newcomer of the year, and I believe our record that year was 24-5. So we only lost 5 games. At times we were the best team in the league, and we made it to the 3rd round of the playoffs before losing in the semifinals. Then I came back for another year. That was also the same year my son was born in 2000. I came back for another year, and this time we weren't as good as a team, as a core team as the year before, but we had all the right pieces. And the important thing about that year is we gelled at the right time, right a couple of games going into the playoffs. We really started gelling, and we knew once we got to the playoffs that we were just going to win the championship, and that's exactly what we did. And so that was the one time I did actually win a completed season championship. Of course, I had won like league championships and stuff like that, but that one championship, I still have the ring today, and it was very special to me. From there, and I decided to stay in Seattle, Washington, to see my son and be around my son. So I signed a letter of intent to play at Seattle Pacific University. It's an NCAA Division II, and it's a perennial powerhouse in Division II. It's a good fit for me to be a part of. As a junior, I was voted GNAC player, newcomer of the year. I led my team in scoring, and lots of players who play from that team are still playing pro today. We went to the 2nd round of the playoffs before losing, but at one point in the polls, in the top 25, we were ranked 4th in the nation. So it was a lot of press and a lot of media, and it was fun to be around that. My senior year was a little bit more difficult for me, although I had posted better numbers. I averaged just right under 20 points a game. a lot of the opposing defenses put a lot of pressure on me and boxing ones and double teams and stuff. Unfortunately, we did not even make it to the playoffs that season, so that was a disappointment in my eyes that I wasn't able to make it to the playoffs in my senior year in college. After I was done with college, in early summer of 2003, I attended a training combine in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia to be exact, and players coming preparing for the NBA draft. I was fortunate enough to be out there for just about a month, and right before that July, I flew to Frankfurt, Germany to attend a pro camp, and I spent 2 weeks in Frankfurt. So I decided to play in Holland, and as a rookie, I played in Den Helder, the Netherlands, and it was a good experience for me. Most people don't know about overseas basketball. It's controlled by FIBA, a federation, and they create all the rules and regulations that each country will be able to abide by. So, say for instance, in my rookie season in Holland, you could have up to 3 Americans on the team, or professional imports, 3 Americans on the team, and you can only play 2 of them at a time. So those are the rules. So now, like in France, you can have up as many as Americans as you like, but also like in other countries like I just got back from Kuwait, you can only have 2 Americans, but only 1 can play on the court at a time. So it's just different rules. I was first accustomed to playing different style of basketball in Europe by noticing that the key it wasn't like how it was back here in the States. It's a vertical or square key. It's more like a trapezoid. Also, the 3-point line is a little bit further than it was in college. Also, they use a different style of basketball. So besides that, the style of play was a lot of pick and rolls and a lot of big men who can step out and shoot. Whereas here in the States, the basketball is more like one-on-one and have more athletic big men who want to stay down there and dunk. The big men in Europe kind of step out and shoot threes and stuff like that. So just getting adjusted to that, I was very successful. From Holland, I spent the summer here and I trained rigorously back in Seattle. Then I was offered a contract to play in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Flew down there in December 2004 and got off the plane thinking that the Brazilians spoke Spanish. So learned quickly that wasn't the case. But it was a wonderful experience in Brazil. I actually ended up playing 3 seasons in Brazil. There's a perception that's tagged along with being American abroad, and that perception, I necessarily don't want to be a part of that perception because that's not exactly my views or what I think. Let's face it, America has been the global police in the world, and a lot of people are being oppressed by it, and they don't like it. So, like I said, the perception from the foreigners are not so hot. I'm proud to be American, but at the same time, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of his political views and a lot of his the progression that's making in the negative sense. I don't agree. So sometimes you're just subjected to higher prices, and you have to cover the bill for everybody, and that type of situation. Being Muslim in the world, do I find any type of difference? For a minute there in the States, I did find you get treated differently than when you're overseas. So being overseas was almost a relief to be Muslim. You're like, okay, now I can really just be Muslim. And I don't understand why Islam has gotten to why I understand it, but it shouldn't be that in my opinion. That for what some people do, you criticize and put the whole religion of Islam under a target, and that's really a setback. I mean, until we can get over that, the fear of Islam, I don't think that we can really understand. How can you understand somebody when you're really fearful of them? So I always felt kind of refreshed being outside of the U.S. and being able to practice my religion. And red alert signaling the danger, so run away, in the way of my spray against your ruling system.